Hey, so I feel obligated to tell my story. My name's Dustin, and I'm going through divorce right now. The worst pain I've ever felt in my life, the worst time of my life, but also the most growth I've probably ever had in my life. 80% of divorces are initiated by women, and for men, there's such a stigma about not opening up, not sharing. I've been a pretty strong, secluded person in my life, and I don't think that is a strength. I think it's a weakness. So me sharing this is a strength. Like, I see this opening up and sharing my story with people as a way to help people going through divorce, helping people in a relationship. With that said, to cope through a breakup like this, I think you really gotta focus on yourself mentally and physically. I think most people have to start doing therapy after a situation like this. I've been doing that. Been in the gym. I've already lost 25 pounds in the most healthy way I can think of. Stopped drinking, eating healthy, just really channeling my anger at the gym. And I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm just going to tell you what's helped me in this process. Mental health is a big one. Doing some therapy, talking to friends and family, and then just really self-reflecting. I think the biggest thing about after something like this happening is being accountable. So looking at yourself and not blaming your partner. It's really hard to look inward at first, but you can only control your side of the fence. And I think one thing you gotta really understand is the difference between fault and responsibility. This divorce isn't 100% my fault. It takes two people. But how everything's handled after is 100% my responsibility. So how I react, all that is my responsibility. So I've been trying to do this in the healthiest way I can think of, and that is, working on my mental health, really thinking about things, and healthy outlets with going to the gym, doing activities. I'm an athletic person, so I have basketball, I have archery, I had volleyball, but I had to give that up because of mutual relationships that were not healthy for my mental. So you will lose friends during this. It's just inevitable. But you have to do what's good for your mental health. And like I'm saying, accountability is huge. I'll get more in depth on that in later videos. But for now, you just have to get to the point where you accept that it's over and realize you don't want somebody that doesn't want you. It's that simple. If they're not going to give you the effort that they said they were going to, it's not worth your effort either. So you have to just grow on your own, unfortunately. But I know I will be a better person because of this whole experience. So accountability is pretty big also, in the sense that you got to think about your friend groups. If you're going through a tough situation and you're just venting to somebody and blaming your partner, and all they're doing is validating you when you're blaming someone, that's going to make it pretty apparent that you're not growing. You're just complaining. You need to find a friend that is going to, one, validate what you're saying, listen to you actively, and then two, hold you accountable. Therapy is great and all, but I don't think you get the tough love that you truly need when you're going through something like this. There's pieces that you should have done better, and I have plenty of them. I'll get into those for sure, because if I just got on here and just blamed my wife about everything that was wrong in our relationship, that would look really weak. I kind of have Jocko in the back of my head with how all this is going. It's you're getting divorced, good, something like that. And then my wife ghosted me. She didn't really give me any closure. So I'm just like in my head, you got ghosted, good. You know, because like it sounds so fucking painful, which it is. Like to get ghosted by your partner is extremely abusive. And what has come from it for me is like I realize how I never want to be like that, and it's made me way more empathetic. I'll get into it in later videos, but me having avoidant tendencies, like I've shut down for days and not spoken when I've gotten, you know, name called or been hurt in some form. And I realize now that that's never acceptable. Like you always have to process and go talk to your partner. So I've come to a lot of realization about accountability, and I just want people to know that if you're with somebody currently, or you're separated or whatever, you really have to work on yourself in the relationship, outside the relationship, wherever you're at. Just you got to work on yourself. If you're blaming your partner for everything that's going on, I'm sorry, but you got to look inward. Like, be the change you want to see in the relationship. If you don't feel connected to your partner, you should probably be direct and tell them what you need. Thank you guys for sticking around. I hope you guys can get through the tough times you're going through. And I see this new channel that I want to do as a way to help you and help me. So make sure to comment, because I'll read all the comments and see what you guys are interested in. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, to have to go through divorce. Divorce is brutally painful. So, like I said, make comments, check us out, subscribe. You could be one of the OGs subscribing right now to this video, and maybe in a couple of years this will be a big thing. So anybody that's going through a tough time, I hope you can get through it. See you later on the next one.